So Flagstaff, Arizona has already received 30 inches of snow. So the property, snowy, rainy, windy. I-40's already been shut down once. So what do you do when it's just miserable on your property? Well, we headed down to Quartzsite, Arizona. We're packing up. We've stayed at our friends. They manage an RV place in Quartzsite. So we came out here for a couple days and cleaned the Airstream like you wouldn't believe. It really needed it, especially with the two dogs. Deep clean, getting it ready. And so this morning we are headed out to the desert. We're set up here in Quartzsite. We found a really nice corner spot. Got a lot of green. Of course, it's been, it's rained, so everything's really green out here in the desert. And so anyway, I'm going to show you our setup. I'll show you what we're doing for solar. I'll show you how I set up the diesel heater. You saw a video on that, and how we kind of set up everything, and yeah, how we're camping in Quartzsite. So this is our corner. It's really nice. A lot of room for the dogs. I think when you have dogs out in the queue, it's kind of important to give them their own little space, so they can kind of play and do their business without bothering all the neighbors, stuff like that. We have one person over there, and then we have a few people across there, one person here, and then one person over there. But really, it's a really nice private spot. That's why we picked it, and we're really close to where we can get in and out. So this is our solar system. We have 4 panels of 240 watt panels. I'll show you how that's connected to. I'm in the process of ordering a rack, so these will be pitched up much higher. Right now, amazingly, we have enough solar, and I'll kind of tell you a little bit about how we're doing our solar. We're really branching our solar into 3 categories, and we have plenty of power. Then we've got the one 240 watt panel here in front of the Airstream. That's a completely dedicated source of power that's charging our Goal Zero, and it also charges our Starlink during the day. Of course, then we have our 400 watts of solar on top of the Airstream. Then we have 200 watts of solar here to run our water pump. I'll show you how we put that together. So we've got the BLUETTI AC 200L. You can see it's at 100%. So this is our 30 amp service that gets plugged into our 30 amp outlet. And then this is our water pump, water station, on-off switch, water filters. So this is basically exactly how we set this up on the property. Not much different. Hopefully it'll be different next year, but for now this works fine. This was easy to bring down here, and then of course we just use water as we needed. We've got our little generator here in case we have cloudy days. This is just a regular 2500 watt generator. Works really good, real cheap. I bought this for $267 on Amazon. It's a great little generator and super quiet. It's under 60 decibels. I'll put a link on all this stuff that I'm about to show you below the video, so you can click on it and look at it and see if it's going to fit what you need to boondock in Quartzsite. Okay, so we kind of broke our whole solar system into 3 different categories. We've got the BLUETTI system, we've got the Goal Zero system, and then we got our house batteries. That is a completely different system. So because we don't get a lot of sunlight here in Quartzsite in the winter time, you don't have a lot of solar time. So it's going to be mostly battery capacity. And so what we do is we kind of switch between the BLUETTI, the Goal Zero, and then our house batteries. And between those 3 systems, we have more than enough solar to cover our energy needs. One of the big draws is our Starlink, which is a big draw. And then if we run our diesel heater for any kind of length of time, that can be a big draw. We've got a refrigerator running 24/7, and then all the other things that we want to, like lights and, you know, TV. I watch some TV, YouTube, obviously. So that takes energy also. So between the 3 systems, we kind of do it this way, and I'll show you what our method is to run power 24/7. And really, it's like a light switch, and we don't ever have to worry about power with what and how we're doing it. Okay, so our BLUETTI, it stays on 24/7. We never turn it off, always stays plugged in. So we always have shore power all day, all night inside the Airstream. However, we don't normally use the whole thing. So what we try to do is we try to conserve a little battery power for in the morning time. So for example, this will be at 100% until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then it starts losing power. So I've got refrigerator, TV, everything that we're charging, everything that we're using. If I want to like use the shop vac, I can use it. If I have to plug in different things to charge the battery, I can do that. If we need to charge our portable, our 18-volt little portable battery for a Ryobi drill, we charge that. So anything we need to charge, anything that we need during the day, it gets plugged in, and the BLUETTI can handle that fine. But the Starlink, we do something a little bit different. We don't run it on the BLUETTI during the day. We run it on this. So during the day, we run everything. It's like charging our phones, our tablets, and our Starlink. You can see the Starlink right there. That is plugged into the Goal Zero. You can see right now. Output is 54 watts. It's at 100%. And this solar panel, it's a 240 watt solar panel that comes in. This Goal Zero can only input 300 watts max. But the solar panel is really exposed to the sun most of the day. So we can plug in the Starlink at around 7:30, quarter to 8 in the morning time, because the sun is hitting that panel, and we have more than enough power to start our Starlink in the morning. We do not run our Starlink 24 hours a day when we're boondocking. We just don't. We don't need it at 2 o'clock in the morning. So we unplug it when we go to bed, and then around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, we plug the Starlink back in. But as you can see, right now it's about maybe 12:30 in the afternoon. We have more than enough solar power to run the Starlink. As you can see too, we also have the diesel heater that is plugged into right there. It's also plugged into the 12 volt, the 15 amp plug I keep telling you guys about, which these Goal Zeros are great for. And so that supplies our diesel. I just turn on the 12 volt switch, and then that stays on all night. So anytime I want heat in the Airstream, I just use the remote, turn on the heat, and I have instant heat inside the Airstream. By the time the sun sets, and it's dark around 6:30, 7 o'clock, I take this plug that's running our TV and our Roku. I take this plug, I plug it into here, and that is our house batteries. That is our inverter switch right here that I turn on, and now I'm running the TV, the Roku, and on our house batteries, and I use the Starlink on the BLUETTI until about 11 o'clock at night, where we turn everything off, and then the only thing running is our refrigerator. Yeah, so we probably have an overkill system, but it's always, we've learned in Quartzsite, it's always better to bring a little bit more than not having enough. because we're going to be here for a minute. And so, you know, we didn't really want to be out here and, you know, just not having enough power. So really, our rig right now in a 76 Airstream, we probably have more solar than most of these new rigs have. Our water pump is really just a regular 12 volt SureFlow water pump that's hooked up into that 55 gallon barrel with a 12 volt with an ever-ready marine Walmart battery that we charge every day. And so we always have enough water. I make maybe one water run every 5 days. And so, you know, it's not that much different than living on our property. It really isn't. So I think that's one of the things that living off grid, or I would say this, I think boondocking, if you've lived a boondocking life in an RV, you're going to be fine living off grid. I mean, it's almost exactly the same, especially for your first year or first couple years if you have to live in your RV on your property. It's almost exactly the same as far as, you know, as far as the infrastructure on how to manage your water, electric, and heat. It's not that much different. But anyway, yeah, we're in the queue. We've set this tent up here. If people are wondering why'd you set up the tent, Ariane is doing a lot of artwork, and so she wanted a space where she can just have a table and do all of her artwork and stuff, and kind of be protective with the sun. But anyway, that's our setup in Quartzsite. That's how we do it. You know, we've developed a little bit smarter as the years have gone by. When we first came out here our first year, you know, we weren't really set up to stay here in the queue for long at all. And I don't like using our 50-year-old freshwater tank in the Airstream. For people that are wondering how come you don't have a freshwater tank in the Airstream, it's 50 years old. I just don't like using it. I don't think it's you know, I can't get to that fresh tank unless I take the entire couch apart and pull it out of the Airstream. I do clean it 3 times a year, but and we do have about 20 gallons of water in that. But again, you know, I just don't like drinking that water. Using it for dishes is fine. And so yeah, our water pump still works, and I can still pull that water out of there if I need to. I'm not filling it up here. I'd rather use our 55 gallon tank that I know is completely potable, fresh, clean drinking water. And I think people could kind of understand that. So, but anyway, that's about it, man. That's our setup. I'll put a link of everything that I showed you in this video below. Everything outdoor is solar lights. Everything we use is solar. And we have not ever had a problem with power. I hear these generators, these construction generators going on all over the place all night long. They start at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, for the amount of money that you're spending in gas per year, that money would be made up in less than a year just buying like the BLUETTI ACL 200 on sale on Black Friday. You would make that money up. It's got a 30 amp cord. I don't know why you wouldn't do that unless you are running so much wattage inside your RV that you need a generator. But even back then, your generator can charge the BLUETTI. So I don't know why you would need a construction generator. I can charge the BLUETTI in very short time just using a little 2500 watt portable gas generator that's super light. It was 267 bucks. So, you know, I just plug it in the BLUETTI, charge that up, turn off the generator, and then I'm good, you know, for another, you know, 12 to 13 to 15 hours. So guys, I hope you guys get a good example of kind of how we're setting up. We're in Quartzsite. If you have any questions about Quartzsite, how we did it, what our, you know, how we're doing it, please post in the comments below. I always answer all the comments. Hope you guys are having a great Thanksgiving. Hope you guys have a great holiday season, and we will see you guys later. Bye.